Yay!
Yay! We made it!
Knock everything over.
No, I'm not. It's a class act show. James is never going to come back with us, but he's here now, and so he's stuck with us. He had no idea what he was doing when he got into this.
It's all good.
Oh, I'm supposed to do the intro, aren't I?
You are, yeah. I was waiting for the welcome.
We're winning at Doodle and Chatting tonight. Hello, Doodle and Chat, and welcome to our Wednesday night Doodle and Chat with friends. We are live tonight because we are joined with a very special friend. James Allen is here with us to Doodle and Chat, and Mandi and I couldn't be more excited.
Yes, we are very excited. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce James, and then we will get this started. So James joins us tonight from Kentucky, where he lives with his wife and 2 boys. So I met James in 2016 when we became Google Innovator members. And at the same time, he was the president of the Kentucky Association of School Librarians. He currently works for the Kentucky Department of Education as the lead library and digital learning coach, which is a mouthful, by the way, James.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. So when I met him, he was working at Eminence School District, where he created the most amazing library and makerspace that I have ever seen. He is the co-founder of KyGoPlay, an initiative that brings opportunities to schools like iPads and coding and editing software and things like that. James loves to doodle. He's been doing so, I found out, since elementary school. His youngest son also loves doodling, especially Sonic the Hedgehog, I hear. So I know there's a lot more to learn about James, and I'm really excited to doodle and chat and learn all about him tonight.
Welcome, James.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So are you still excited now that you've been through the whole vaccine camera fiasco, and now you get to be doodling and chatting all about you?
It was all good. It's fun.
And Kimberly is here with us. She's one of our OG Doodle and Chatters. So for anybody who is new to Doodle and Chat, or for James, and for any of our returning friends, we had the bowl that knows here filled with questions all about James, very special questions all about James, and then a few that are here just for fun. So we're going to pull from what we call it the bowl that knows, because when you've been around Doodle and Chat enough, it really does know. It just seems to know what kind of conversation we are going to get from you tonight. And then Mandi and I will doodle, and James will too, because he's a doodler. We'll doodle and chat all about what James has to share with us. We welcome our viewers to doodle and chat along with us, and we're so excited. We also have a very special, narrator or producer that is helping us from behind the camera. So tonight, I am just in charge of listening to James and drawing. And Annabeth is here with us, and she's going to pull from the bowl that knows, and we'll hear her voice reading us the questions.
Hello.
Yay,
Really
Annabeth.
awkward.
Oh, you're like the OG
I know,
of Doodle and
but
Chat.
I'm not even there.
It's okay.
I'm here.
All right, so I'm going to start my paper. We're going to turn the cameras on so that we can see what Mandi and I are drawing. Get our camera set up. How's that look, kiddo? And then we've got James.
Hi, Kimberly.
I wish my beard was that dark. It's a little gray.
I added just a little gray in there, not a lot though. So
My own son asked me if I'd dye my hair because they don't match. He thinks like I'm dyeing my hair, but not my beard. So I don't. It's very confusing.
That is funny.
Not that there's anything wrong with dyeing your hair. I don't do that. I don't know why they're different colors. It's fine.
I just saw a thing the other day because I have a friend who's actually allergic to hair dye. And this is some product that you put on your hair, and it's just like vitamins and minerals or something, but it actually at the follicle level changes the color back to your natural color.
Oh.
So I sent it to her, and I'll let you know if she tries it and if it works or not.
Fancy.
I know.
What if it reads the wrong color and then you're stuck with it?
Yes, because it does just change the follicle of your hair, but it's supposed to go back to like genetically whatever's encoded there, because something with gray hair, it just prevents something from it prevents your hair from reading something. I don't know. It talked about the science behind it. I don't teach science, so
Okay, that's a little bit creepy.
I know, but it's kind of cool. So for my friend who can't color her hair,
Yes.
it's a good thing. So
All right. I think the bowl is calling. Are we ready for it?
I am so excited. There are some questions in here that I'm so excited for.
So excited about many of these questions. We never know what we're going to get. Here we go.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
What do you wish your phone could do?
Oh, what do you wish that your phone could do?
Random question out
Random
of the
questions
gate.
to start off. This always makes for an interesting doodle and chat when the first one's a random one.
I wish my phone could do. I don't know. They do so much these days.
They do.
Is this for you all to answer too, or is this just me?
You can throw it back at us.
All right. Well,
Top teacher move. Whenever that happens, it's like you get a gold star on your doodle and chat episode when you pull a teacher move like that.
I know there's some angst behind, our phones listening to us and whatnot, but I don't know. To a degree, I'm okay with that. Like, I wouldn't hate.
I would do on
hate
that
it.
too.
Like, maybe like certain times, like I could turn it on and off, but I don't know. Like I could just be like, it knows when you're in the car, like you're driving.
Yes, it knows where you parked
Like
and what time you should be getting to school. Those are all a little creepy.
Wait, it knows where I parked? How did I not know this? Because I need that a lot.
Oh yeah, it'll tell me where I'm parked, and it'll tell me you usually arrive at this spot at this time, and I'm like.
But speaking of that, like that's when I want my phone to do things on its own, is when I'm driving. Like I don't want to touch it. So if it knew I was driving, I'd like to be able to tell it like, hey, play this podcast, this audiobook, and I don't want to have to do that. Like just know that that's what I want to listen to unless I hit stop.
Got it.
That would be cool. I'm sure there's probably some app that already does that I don't have. But.
So you don't want to have to use your AI. You want it to just tap into.
No, I just wanted to know. Kind of like with your Apple Pencil there. Like I like that it knows when you're drawing. Like it doesn't mess up with your hand being on the iPad and all that kind of stuff. Like just kind of those intuitive things that are built in.
I like it.
So what book would you listen? What book would pop up and play on your? Are you an audiobook kind of guy? Because we've had it. Mandy's that kind of person, and we had a couple other guests too. Are you an audiobook guy?
I am, but it's got to be certain times. Like I've got to be able to focus still. Like I can't be doing complex things and hear things like that. Like a book.
Got
like,
it.
Music is one thing, but like a book or a podcast, I need. Like driving is fine. Like I can focus on driving and listening, like you listen to the radio, but I don't know. It's or walking. So right now, I think I was worried you all might ask. Like, and I'm always like, forget the title. There's this thing called Audio Sync every summer where you can download free audiobooks. They're like young adult titles.
Nice. I've heard about that, I think.
It's from Audiophile Magazine with a partnership with Sora, Overdrive, and probably some publishers too. But there's 2 a week, and you can download them for that entire week. And then the checkout period is like 90,000 days or something crazy. Like you can listen to it whenever you want. But that's what I'm listening to right now. It's a book called This Book Betrays My Brother.
Ooh.
And I'm going to terribly mispronounce this name, but it's Kagiso Lasego Malope, maybe. But it's set in Africa, though. It's really it's a different kind of perspective. It's kind of cool what I've listened to so far. One of the early ones this summer was, I guess, the name is like out of my head. What is it? Sherlock Holmes author. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I can't think of it.
well, yeah, I was gonna say it and now it's gone.
Anyway, it's a short story from that person, like one of their earlier things, and it was really cool to listen to that. Like I know who Sherlock Holmes is. I don't think I've ever sat and read through an entire story though, but it was cool. And another one was kind of a retelling, like a fictionalization of Edgar Allan Poe being young.
Oh, nice. That'd be good for young kids.
And his muse was like alive, like in the room, and was like this girl morphing into the Raven. It was really cool.
Oh,
yeah,
that does sound cool.
Yeah, I would.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Well, I say when you listen to this, do you have the option to speed it up? Because that's one of the things I don't like to listen slow because I can read faster than I can listen, and so I will always speed it up. So do you have to listen on their app or?
It's on the Sora app, the Overdrive Sora app.
Okay.
So it has all the same audiobook features that the regular books do. You can speed it up. I think I have to. I feel like every book is different. Like every voice actor is different. It depends on what their pace is. Like if it's already kind of quick, like speeding it up kind of makes it hard to. I don't know. It makes it a little less theatric that way sometimes. But podcasts, like I can speed those up, and it's not a huge deal. But
right. I think the slowest book that I ever listened to was The Wheel of Time. And 1.5. I think I was at 1.5. Like, come on, buddy, we got to go faster. So
did you listen to the entire thing?
I didn't. So I listened to it when I was on the elliptical, and I got to a point where it was getting kind of slow, and it made me not want to get on the elliptical. So I kind of put it to the side. So, and I picked something else. So I want to say I made it through like book 7. There's a lot of books.
Yeah. It's weird that you say that one. I'm actually rereading that one, like on a different timeline, not during drives, obviously, but
right.
I feel like I'm in the minority. Like I read on my phone. I feel like I enjoy that more than a physical book usually.
I also read on my phone.
Like the screen is really good. It's always with me. I change it to like the night mode where it's white text on a black background, so it's not doesn't strain my eyes or anything. So I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like it, but that's kind of my method of choice. I was reading a professional book the other day for work, and I was like, this book is kind of heavy. Like I'm used to just my phone and if you read at night, like you don't have to have a light on, it works really well.
Oh, that is true. I didn't think about that.
It is nice. I also enjoy reading on my phone. And if you're talking about a book that's not just for fun, I love that it's searchable if you read on your phone. So because I can, if I have it on my Kindle, I can also pull it up on my computer and I can search for something. So if I'm reading something for class, I can just search through it instead of.
I totally look up words that I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I have to do that all the time.
Yeah. But it's quick and easy when you just hold your finger down and it tells you what it is.
I didn't think about either of those things.
Yeah.
You guys are so smart.
Look at us.
Because I really don't like to read on my phone or on the computer. I would much rather have a book that I can write in and highlight and scribble all over.
Such a teacher.
But I didn't. But I see both of those aspects of it. Like the searching thing, I'm like, oh man, I might have to teach my students that one too, because I don't think about doing that with the audiobooks that they get for like science or social studies. Like you get a question, like, I mean, of course we should read the entire text, but there are times when just searching for the
Mhm.
answer is way easier.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say easier, is far more efficient.
Yeah, I remember when it switched for me too. It was iPhone 4 when the screen went from like the regular kind of pixely screen to the, I guess what their Retina display, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That's when it switched for me. Like when the text became as sharp as, not, maybe it's not as sharp, but almost as sharp as what you see on a piece of paper. So that's kind of when I switched over. Forget when that was.
It became really nice for me when the old eyes started getting worse and I could increase the font size on my phone. So I can make it a little bit bigger.
I will admit that I've purchased some cheaters, and it's kind of like having a big screen TV. Like when I watch shows, like it makes my phone huge. It's really
It
nice.
does. I have readers too, and I have to decide when I want to put them on in the day, because once I wear them, I'm committed to them for the whole rest of the day. Hence, why I have them on now. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about them. But
So 2 stories. First of all, I have monovision contacts. So I have one contact that sees up close and one contact that sees far away. And so I haven't had to get any cheaters yet, but my husband has. So, but it's just because my contacts compensate for me. But there was a lady next to me on the plane the last time I flew, and she needed her readers. I swear her font was so big that you could see like 1 word per line. It was so big that from my seat, like I had to like block my face because I could read everything on her phone because it was so big.
don't give away your secrets.
I don't want to see your text. I'm so sorry.
That's funny.
All right, I think the bowl's ready for us, Annabeth.
What are you best at fixing?
Man, it's going random, James. What are you best at fixing?
Fixing?
Yes.
It's a me thing. I think I pull random.
You are you're a random question puller.
Pull
James is gonna be like,
random.
tell Annabeth to go away.
I don't know if I have a specific answer to that. Like I'm not afraid to tinker with things, but I don't know if I have like I don't know. That's kind of like the KyGoPlay thing. Like when we first started, like we talked about, if teachers would just, play with things a little bit more, they wouldn't be so afraid of them, and it'd be a little easier to learn things. And like, I'm not afraid to click on stuff. Like I just I'm totally not good at, learning something step by step in a book and then having to recall it. Like I kind of learn it as I go. And I guess that's similar when I wish I could fix my air conditioning. That would be awesome. But I don't think I mentioned that since we were live. My air conditioning is not working. So.
And what's the temperature outside, James, so we can all feel for your struggle?
Right this second, it's 88 and feels like 95.
Oh.
But that's gone down, I don't know, 5 or 6 degrees in the last hour or two. Sorry, that wasn't a very good answer. I don't know.
No, you're fine. Is the air conditioner person on their way? Or tomorrow?
Yeah, not tonight. Tomorrow.
Man, I am so sorry. Really sorry.
My favorite thing, like with technology wise, like in a school, I was for a long time, I was in addition to being the school librarian, I was the school technology coordinator, and we were kind of like first line of defense in troubleshooting and fixing junk. But I feel like it happened a lot. Like I would just come in the room and things would start working. Like I wouldn't actually touch anything. Like it would just kind of magically start working.
I feel like that happens a lot when my tech person, will come to my classroom, and I'll be like, first thing I say is, yes, I did try turning it off and turning it on again.
Yeah.
So that one's click done. And then, yeah, they'll do like one click, or they'll just stand there and all of a sudden it'll like magically just start working. I'm like, and thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yes. I don't know if it's like the wait time or like just the energy in the room changes or something. I don't know, but like it was not fun for the teachers when that happened, but it was fun for me. I did once a long time ago go to a room and the teacher could not get her video to play. It was VHS. And the tape was not in the VCR. Like that's like my favorite fix. And the same teacher, I'm sure she will never see this, but she also was new to computers, like when they came into the school, and she learned to use the mouse upside down.
Did it work upside down?
No.
What, like not upside down, like flipped the other way. So like when she moved it up, it went down. Or when she moved it down, it went up. Like inverted, yes. Where the cord was coming out towards her.
Oh, okay. See, I actually switch my mouse for inversion. So when I swipe up, my screen goes down. And that comes from me playing Call of Duty. When I learned to play Call of Duty, somebody had switched my joystick so that if I raised, like it was inverted. And so because of that, I always just have to switch my mouse. And so I'll go to swipe on my kids' computers and I'm like, oh, it's backwards from what I'm used to.
Do I do that too? No.
But every time I came in there, I'm like, the cord is the wrong way. Like it's like in the way facing me. And she's like, I can't do it the other way. I can't.
That is so funny.
I was like, that's amazing. Like that would be so hard to do. And like, you know, obviously like the buttons are at the bottom where the cord is. So like she was using her thumbs and like it was, she had totally.
That changes the whole right click meaning, doesn't it?
Yeah. She just made it work. It was impressive.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So the VCR one, I imagine you walking in there and being like, how can I make sure that this is the least embarrassing moment ever? Like, and just doing it, right? Like just putting it in there and like not listening to the children, like complete heckles. My kids would have like ripped me. My students would have ripped, like they would have never let me forget that, you know?
No, we definitely did it quietly. It was not we did not make a big deal of it. I just was like, there's no tape in there. Like it's sitting on top of the VCR. It's close. But it's not in the VCR yet.
So I had a brief stint. Well, I mean, it was 3 years as a technology coordinator in a district before my husband took another job and we moved. But I was a part-time technology coordinator. So I taught half the day and then did technology stuff the other half. But if there was an issue, they just called me out of class. And if my class was small enough, I had to take my kids with me. And if my class was big enough, I had to get a teacher to cover. And so across the street at the elementary school, teacher calls me, my computer's not working. Gone through all of the things, you know. So I load up my class. We walk across the street to the elementary school. And I walked in and I said, why did you unplug it? Like it's not plugged into the wall. And she's like, oh, that goes to the computer?
Oh gosh.
Sure does. It's not going to work if it's not plugged into the wall. I don't know where she thought it went to, but she'd unplugged it.
And your class, meanwhile, is like, yes, you just bought us like 20 minutes of non-math. Yeah.
You know, she may have slipped her, or they may have slipped her some money with that. Like, I'm not going to promise some money didn't exchange hands with that.
That makes me think about like the summers and like maybe, I don't know if it's this way in every school, but the ones I've been in, you know, like things kind of get like deep cleaned over the summer.
Uh-huh.
And like everything gets unplugged and maybe things are a little simpler now with, you know, projectors being mounted and maybe some better stuff. But like back then it was like, you know, like the document camera had 2 or 3 cords, the computer had cords, the mice and the keyboards, and sometimes multiple computers in a room. And I'm like, in no other industry would they just shut down and like unplug all of your stuff and be like, good luck when you get back. Like expect everyone that works in the office to just figure out how to get all their stuff working again. Like it just, I mean, that made me so insanely frustrated.
And we're going to give you the day that we used to give you to prepare your room. We're going to take that away, but we'll still give you, oh, wait a second, no time. So you have to come in on your own time after you've gone through days of training to get ready for the day that you're going to have actual human beings in your classroom.
I made so many diagrams and pictures for people, and it helped a little bit, but it wasn't perfect.
I always took a picture before I unplugged everything in
That's
hopes
smart.
hopes that I could get it back together the way that it was. So
Yeah, the AirPlay and the remote Wi-Fi and all that stuff makes it way easier now, for sure.
yeah, it does.
And the computers, remember, they don't even need us to tell them, James.
Right?
They just know where we are, and they load up onto the Wi-Fi, right?
We're getting closer to that. Like, passwords going away and it just being like, just knowing who you are magically.
I know how I feel about that. It's like that hair color knows exactly what your hair color was.
You just never know.
I'm still a little confused. Like, we just switched at work at the Department of Education with kind of multi-factor authentication. And I'm using like the Authenticator app, and it works really well. I'm wondering, like, what happens if something happens to your phone though? Like, I feel like you're in like some terrible luck if your phone gets lost or
100%. I was at the doctor's office today, and they're like, "Do you have your COVID card?" And I'm like, scrolling through my phone. I was sure it was in my wallet, and I'm like thinking to myself, or I said it out loud actually, because I tend to think out loud a lot. Put it on your phone, they said. It'll be easy to find, they said. And the nurse is just looking at me like, "Okay, lady, whenever you find it, you can find it." But it was in my wallet. But it was like, I was scrolling through my photos. Like, where is it? Anyways.
That's when you need Google Keep so you can keyword search.
I do, yes. I need to put those things in there, yes, for sure.
Handwriting recognition, yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for sure. All right, Bull, you ready? It's ready.
Not a random one this time, hopefully.
There's only 4 random ones, and Annabeth picked 2 of them.
Okay.
Oh,
Goodness.
I don't know if James is going to feel that, but we'll see.
Why are librarians and libraries such a vital part of every school?
that's a good one. I wish it was like an easy answer. Like I know what people say on the Twitter and like kind of one-liner things. It's the heart of the school and whatnot, which I believe, but I think it really depends on your school. Like, the role is so different depending on where you are, and I don't think that's bad. I just, like, in some places, like when I started out, like we were the digital learning coach. Like, we were the person who helped people with all the, I guess, what was newer back, ed tech stuff back then. But we were also, good with resources, print and digital, like what kids could have access to. And I think when you don't have that person to collaborate with, I don't know. It's hard for me to picture a school without a librarian. Like, I wonder in my own state, we're lucky compared to the rest of the country. Like, I have numbers, 75% of our schools have a full-time school librarian, which is
Nice.
Sounds bad if you don't know like what the rest of the country is dealing with, but it's really pretty good. And even that 25% has a part-time person. I wonder, I need to talk to some more of those people that are part-time. Like, I don't see how things function like when you're gone. Like, I don't know, because at Eminence, I mean, the collaboration was kind of built into like the entire, like we had portraits of a graduate for every grade level, and like collaboration was kind of built into those things. And it wasn't hard to come up with reasons why we need to be working together. And like, the kids come down for all kinds of different things. It's, sometimes it's books, sometimes it's, they need some tools to use. Sometimes they need some robots. Sometimes they need a screwdriver. I don't know. It was totally like, that's why I liked that job, the variety.
And I would like to say that not all libraries are as cool as the one that you're describing. So if people have not checked out the library that at Eminence School in Kentucky, it has a slide in it.
It does have a slide. It's very cool.
Like a
But
swirly slide or a straight slide? Like, you have to tell us about this slide.
it kind of reminds me, like, I'm not from the country, but I know what a post hole digger looks like. Like that's what it reminds me of, like a giant corkscrew metal slide. Like it's adult size. Like it's quick. It's like the quickest way downstairs. It's not a special occasion slide. Like I rode it twice a day just to go downstairs at least.
Wait, so it starts in the library and then it took you down to something else?
Well, the library is kind of on 2 levels. So
Stop it. That's a nice library.
Oh, it is a cool library.
Well, it's a cool school because it's K-12 and it's all under one roof. So like the second floor was also part of the high school. So the kids use the slide just, to get where they're going. It was fun.
Who would not? I mean,
but even schools that are, 100 years old and don't have that stuff, I think I don't want to say it's like the librarian is the only important part, but if you take that away, it is just a room with some books in it. Like that's it. Like there's
agreed.
Like you can do that. But I just feel like I don't know. You don't have that person to bounce ideas off of. You don't have an information specialist. You don't have somebody to help you curate things for kids. Like sometimes like we get caught up, I think, with kids knowing how to research on their own, which I think is really important. But sometimes like we need kids to just be able to find the things we need them to find, like quickly, like not spend, days and days of them finding what may or may not even be good sources.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think of my own librarian in my school, and we have a full-time librarian, and she's amazing. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, middle school. And when I think of our librarian, she knows every kid, and also I think her superpower is the ability for any student to walk in that library, and she can pick a book that will at least give that kid a shot at loving that book when they read it. And if they don't, they come back, or she'll have the conversations on banning books and, censorship with students and have the hard talks with them with the teachers instead of the teachers having to do this on their own or those kind of things. And it's just librarians are a really special part of a school. I think they make the school a community too, Yeah. And they offer windows into places that sometimes teachers can't even give. Windows and mirrors, right? They offer that for us. If we need something, I can always go in there and ask her about stuff, or they share that opportunity with students. And I think that's so important to all of our students.
And there also aren't a ton of places where kids can go without predetermined expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like there's some extracurricular things that are kind of that way, but I mean, usually I'm thinking like middle and high school, you're going to a specific class and you have specific things you have to do and learn. But the library is like, they're still learning, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a safer place to.
Those are the 2 words I was thinking of. I feel like it's the ultimate safe place from a lot of students, whether it's the lunch hour and they need a quiet alternative after they're done eating their lunch, or they need to go just check out a book and sit and read quietly, or that beanbag that is a special place that a kid can go to after when they, during work time or something like that, or like using the slide. Like it's just, I feel like it's the ultimate safe place for kids,
Unfortunately, even in my own past and working with people that are newer, like that doesn't happen immediately. Like when you're new in a school or the school is new, like, I don't know. It's just not. Usually the librarian is one person. Like I was in a high school with 2. That was awesome. And at Eminence we had 2. So I'm kind of outside of the norm, but you're dealing with people's experiences that they've had with other librarians.
Mm-hmm.
So that can either be a really good thing or maybe not such a good thing, because there's only that one in the building. And sometimes that one in the building has been there a long, long time and things are kind of set. And I know that people struggle a little bit when they're new or they're in a new school to get to where it is that place that not just kids can come and, feel safe, but teachers can feel safe asking questions and, you know, asking for help when they need it. And because they're kind of in the mindset like other teachers, they don't want to bother anybody because everybody has stuff to do. And
Yeah.
like, it's hard to get them in the mode of like, this is part of why I'm here, to help you out, make things easier.
Yeah, I can see that point. I guess from my own perspective as an educator, the librarian and your tech people are the people that for me are, besides my own team of teachers that I work with, are some people that are worth developing that relationship with, because they can come in many different ways to become an asset to you as a teacher or for your classroom. So it's worth the investment in that relationship. So I've always made an effort to have a good relationship with our librarians. Especially as a special education teacher too, I often see that the librarians can also add an opportunity for some inclusion and more inclusiveness, you know, in keeping the community of the building going too, which has also been great for us. So, yeah.
Sorry, my answer to the original question is kind of roundabout, but
you did great. It was a big question. That's okay.
Yeah.
Look at that answer. That is that answer, and that is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we've never gotten to draw a slide, James. I mean, that's the first, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to go for the swirly one, but I wimped out.
It's all right.
All right, I think the bowl's ready for another one.
I'm nervous.
Uh-oh. Oh, this is the one!
Why do you know where to find every Dole Whip location in the continental U.S.?
Tell us, James. Tell us.
Well, Dole Whips are really good. And they're not like, there are tons of recipes like for at-home ones, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think I had my first one when I was pretty young. Like sometimes I feel like I invent memories. Like I know we went to Disney World, but like I feel like I remember having one, and I don't know. I've not been to like Hawaii to the plantation where they grow them and have the ice cream there, but at Eminence, our superintendent actually bought the actual Dole Whip mix, which only comes in like 5 or 10 pound bags, and makes like it's meant for like a commercial soft serve machine. And he bought it and made it in like kind of more of a home ice cream machine just for us. And that was a really awesome day at work. And he even brought pineapple juice to make it afloat. Like it was the whole thing. It was great.
So Annabeth's typing in the chat, but Kimberly asked for us to repeat the question. And the question was, why do you know where to find every Dole Whip location in the United States? Because he does, Kimberly.
I don't think I know. Like I know. I think I know to know. Like I know to look. Like you gotta.
I don't know. My source said that you could find every single one.
I don't think every single one is. That's a little exaggeration there. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I've eaten a few at one sitting, like more than I should have. With my kids, we went on a vacation to Florida, but not to Disney. And we detoured to the Polynesian resort just to have Dole Whip. We didn't actually we didn't go in the park. We didn't pay money. We were like, we're just here for dinner reservations, which we didn't have, and just went and got the Dole Whip. So
we're just here for the Dole Whip.
Yeah. I have had at Eminence, my co-librarian, Jen Gilbert, she actually made me some for my birthday that was really good. It was like homemade stuff, so it wasn't exactly the same, but it was good. It was like kind of like shaved ice Dole Whip.
Yum.
It was really good. So if you never tried it and you see it somewhere, definitely try it out. And like when I say Dole Whip, for me, it's the pineapple flavor. Like they have other flavors, which I don't ever really get into that much because I like the pineapple one, the original. I say it's the original. I don't even know, but it feels like the original.
I think you're right. I don't know. I've never had one actually.
But they do have other flavors. So
Mandi, have you had one? I know we see it's so funny that you bring up pineapple because we talked about flaming pineapples on the last Doodle and Chat in Color, James, because one of Mandi's children is allergic to pineapples, which Mandi, I got to draw flames on my thermometer, and I know how to draw them because flames were the topic of our last Doodle and Chat in Color.
Perfect. So
if I was allergic to pineapples, that would be terrible.
I know it would be for you. Absolutely terrible. I love pineapple too. It's one of my favorite things, and I do love Dole Whip. And in the town that my daughter lives in, she lives in a town here in Missouri, and they actually have Dole Whip trucks, like ice cream trucks, except they're Dole Whip trucks.
Nice.
And you can just pull up and get some Dole Whip. They do have other flavors, but most people get the pineapple.
I actually had pineapple boba tea today. It was really good.
Okay. I mean, boba tea grosses me out, so I don't know.
I've never had boba tea only because I don't like the little circle thingies. They just like creep me out a little bit.
They're good. They're the one. They weren't pineapple, whatever you call. Are they? I don't know if those are the bobas or if they're like whatever the little sacks of goodness are. They were mango. They were mango inside of the pineapple tea.
Ooh, I don't. Sacks of goodness.
Yeah. That sounds terrible, but I don't know. I was wondering today, like, what is this made of? What am I actually eating?
They're tapioca balls. Is
Oh,
what
is that what they are?
And they absorb the liquid that they're soaked in, which is
reason number 5 that I'm never trying that.
But they're
just little tapioca pearls, and then as you soak them in the liquid, they get bigger.
But when I think of tapioca, I think of like a cup, like white. Like these are clear. Like they look.
They are, but it's because they absorb it.
Huh. Well, I've learned something today. That's good. I didn't question it too much. I was just like, yeah, put those in there. I'll drink that.
Oh my. James, we're just gonna we've had sexy shrimp, we've had zombie sea monkeys, and now we've had sexy sex.
Now, if they had like, I was hoping the pineapple could, like the tea could be pineapple and the little, I'm not going to say the word again, but could be pineapple too, but they only had mango and strawberries. So.
Oh my gosh. Here, I've got to put the.
Oh yeah, you got to draw some.
We got to get some
bobas in there, yeah. I don't even know if that's the right word. I think they called them flavor somethings. I don't.
Flavor burst?
I think something like that.
Yep, I think so too.
But the straw is like really engineered to like suck those things up, and
it really is.
It's like it's angled at the bottom like a kind of like a shovel.
Oh dear.
You said in your tweet we might laugh some or laugh.
You doubt us? I think you might have. Oh. I will never look at yes. Transitioning.
All right, there we go. Sexy sacks with mango and pineapple.
Yeah.
Sexy sacks.
I
did
not say that. I said sacks of goodness. Yeah.
All right.
You can keep sexy sacks and I'll put sexy.
Here, I'll put sacks of goodness. There we go. Sacks of goodness.
Sacks. S-A-C-K.
Sexy sacks.
It's not S-A-K-E, right? And my brain is gone right now. James broke my brain.
S-A-C-K. I think. Wait.
Okay. Whew.
Carrie's telling you to breathe.
I know. I know, Kimberly.
Now we need like a really serious questions. Like something.
Well, you never know. You might get what you wanted.
Oh, okay.
All right, what do we got, Annabeth? Nice and loud.
What have you enjoyed most about your time with the Kentucky Department of Education?
And you got what you wanted.
Serious, yeah. Oh gosh.
No pressure. They might be listening,
Oh, right.
especially if your phone's near you.
What I've enjoyed, I think probably working with my team, really. I wish I'm towards the end of my third year, so obviously
Is there a limit on, are you like a 10-year, or is it as long as you want to stay?
I hope they aren't wanting to get rid of me. Like that would stink. Yeah. But speaking of that, like the position for like a statewide school library person was kind of gone for a few years. And that previous position was kind of like a year to year unknown kind of thing. And mine is not. I'm actually in the Office of Education Technology.
Okay.
And the person that, a few years before me was in a different office and not really connected to technology. So, but it's cool because I'm on a team. We all have digital learning coach in our titles too. So that's why my title is kind of long. But we have a computer science person. We have a person who is kind of in charge of STLP, which is Student Technology Leadership Program in our state. It's kind of like it's hard to explain quickly, but it's just a big giant. It's kind of what it says. It's a student leadership program that's centered around technology, and kids create projects. They create online creations, movies, photos, videos, Minecraft. It's like a ton of stuff. Like if you want to check it out, just type in STLP in the Google and look at all the cool things. We had our state competition in April, and we had, I think, 15,000-ish people there.
Wow.
Like, it's a huge one-day event, and I don't know, that's cool. So we have that person, Jeff Sobolski, and our Sean Jackson is our computer science person. Laura Raganos is our lead for our digital learning coaches in the state. Ben Maynard is a person who he's a former principal, so he kind of works with administrators with ed tech and online learning a little bit. And we have Aaron Wagner, who works with our School for the Deaf and School for the Blind. And our leader is Marty Park, who is really awesome. He kind of pulls everything together, but I don't know. It's cool working with all those people. We all kind of help out with each other's work, and we're not just, in these little silos. We kind of all help out, and we're considered field staff. So we kind of cover the whole state. We don't just go and sit in an office somewhere. So there's lots of travel. And now that the pandemic is a little winding down a little bit, I hope.
Yes, we all hope that
are a little more normal. Yeah. I don't know if I actually answered the question, but I do miss like the day-to-day being in a school library. Like that's kind of gone for me. Like I obviously don't have a school. So that part of the job I really enjoy because, like there's I feel like daily wins, like multiple wins a day. Like whether it's just, helping a kid find a book they want or helping a teacher with something, or like you see like benefits of your existence every day, where this job is a little like I'm a little more removed and doing broader kind of higher level things. And it's kind of hard to like, I know they're important and I know we're doing good things. It's just harder to see the benefits as quickly. And that part is hard. I know you didn't ask for what is hard about the job, but that's kind of what I'm reconciling even in my third year, trying to figure this out. But
is how you can stay connected to the schools and get that kind of like vibe and replenish of that you've missed from the library.
Thankfully people have started kind of like we were talking about being comfortable with the school librarian in the school. Like people are starting to be a little more comfortable with my position and reaching out when they need help with things, and that's good. That's a little more normal.
So when you go like into the new school year, like what's your overall goal when you support schools in Kentucky? Is there a specific thing that's like your mission in your mind, or that the Department of Education wants you to have?
No.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice, and
Hard too.
I feel pretty supported with whatever ideas we come up with. When I started, our state did not have school library standards, and it was kind of one of the only things we didn't have standards for. Like, we had computer science standards, we had technology standards, but we did not have school library, or we had a link on the web, on the KDU website, to AASL, the American Association of School Librarians, like their standards, but it wasn't official. But my first year, we created our own kind of version of those AASL standards, and that was kind of a big deal. And that's kind of on a 6-year cycle, I think. So I think a big chunk of what I'm doing will be, kind of creating resources that help meet those standards for teachers, and, connecting them to the technology standards that we're already using, which are based on the ISTE standards. So it's really easy to kind of crosswalk those things. And
sure. So I'll go a little bit rogue then for the last couple minutes, and maybe we'll have time for another question. So then during your time with the Department of Education, what's been your favorite thing that has come out of this freedom to create for schools? Like, do you have a project that you're like, I was really proud of that project, or I am proud of that project?
I know I just said it, but I think the standards really.
Okay.
Just because if you haven't looked at them before, like, the national standards are really broad, and they cover a lot of things. And it's not, some people are still a little uncomfortable, I think, even in other states, because it's not a checklist of library skills. It's not it's not like where the Dewey Decimal System books in the library, where's the shelf marker. It's not that kind of stuff. It's definitely more information literacy, information fluency, and creating things ethically and sharing things ethically. It's just a lot more than just, I don't want to say just reading. Like, reading is super important, and how you meet those standards is totally up to schools. Like, we're not dictating that from a state level. Like, they're literally standards. They're not curriculum. So if you were like super into only doing book stuff, like, you could tie all of the standards into books, and that's fine, and that's good.
Yeah.
But they're just not a checklist of traditional, how to use the library skills, because that is so fluid these days, and depending on where you go, that changes. It's more about solving information problems on the go, on the fly. Yeah, I think the standards really are. I didn't write them. I just helped facilitate about a group of 30 school librarians from around the state to help create those. And we took the national standards and broke them down into grade levels to make them a little more digestible. And I don't know. I think so far it's working out well.
That sounds awesome. It sounds like they could be integrated into so much.
Oh yeah,
and just be like a layover what teachers are already doing in their classroom, but give them just a little bit more direction to build just a few more skills. And they're probably already doing them, but at least gives them a little bit more, something a little bit more concrete to know that they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you have time for one more question?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's see what the bowl has. It's all that Dole, all that boba juice.
Tell us about #HugAJames.
Tell us about #HugAJames. Yes, I cannot wait to hear about this one.
These are terrible questions.
They're the best questions you've ever heard.
And I know where they're from.
We have our sources.
He's guilty.
He sure is. He even sent me the Dole Whip.
No, yeah, don't show the picture. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a picture that floats around. Oh gosh, there it is. That's awesome.
This one?
Yes. I don't look very happy because we actually went to a PD event near Disney, and we went to the park, and I was like, I'm going to have Dole Whip. This is awesome. But it was near Christmas time, And on this specific day, they shut down every vending station and turned it into a cookies and hot chocolate station, including the Dole Whip area. And it was like gone. There was no Dole Whip to be had, and it was very sad because we were there and there was no Dole Whip. Yeah. I am also just not a very big hugging type person. I'm sorry.
Oh, then you would never want to meet me in real life, James.
I mean, I can do it. Like it's just not like a natural thing for me.
So how did the hashtag come about?
I don't know. I don't even know. There is a hashtag. It was on my window of my office for a long time. I think it might even still be there. But it turned into a terrible nightmare of a hug of James just to make him uncomfortable situation. My superintendent told a class of kindergartners that like the thing I love most in the world are hugs. It was the worst kindergarten class ever. Like I was like mobbed. I was like, I'm just reading a story. I don't want any hugs. Yeah.
Where's no space?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Donnie Piercy.
I was going to say that sounds like something Donnie would have done.
Nice.
And yes, that's definitely where that question came from.
Bless his heart. I like your doodles. They're looking really good.
Thank you. And Mandi says thank you too.
I do. I'm trying to draw small children hugging you.
Oh, God. I don't know about that part. Like
It doesn't look great.
I want to make a reference, but I'm not going to do it because we'll get deleted for that.
Yeah.
I know. So here, maybe they can hug his leg.
There you go.
Know. It's not getting better.
I will say that I'd love to doodle, but I wish I could draw real things. Like I can't. I'm not very good at drawing real things.
Okay, so
I know, like I can read Sylvia Duckworth's books and watch her videos. Those are awesome. But like when I doodle, it's mostly just like weird lines and shapes. It's not.
Okay, so but you just need to you need to pause for a minute because there's a question in the bowl. We didn't get to it. What do you call your doodles?
During
the stress doodles.
Yes, during the pandemic, I bought the domain stressdoodle.com and I just use it to kind of keep track of all my.
Yes, and we will put that in the link of the show notes because you need to check out James's stress doodles because when he talks about this drawing nonsense, your brain just works differently than what society has told you it needs to look like, James. Because I've seen your sketch notes too that you have on there from some conferences. And your brain is just lying to you because your sketch notes are below my mind. I mean, they are like, it gives me some like ideas that I want to try in my sketchnoting. Because the way you merge different mediums and see colors and just wow, people have to check it out. We'll put it in the show notes. Like you need to you just need to be quiet about your ability to sketchnote because it's amazing. It's just not what you see everybody else doing. And I think you need to give yourself credit because it's really good stuff.
And I thankfully had a teacher in high school, an English teacher that let me do that kind of stuff instead of writing like these really long story maps and character map things. Like she let me do, it was like, I don't know. I think it was kind of that doodling. I don't know. They just made that an okay thing to do. And like the other stuff that's a little more just kind of abstract, like it's hard for me to sit in a meeting and not do those things. Like it keeps my mind focused. I know it looks like I'm not focused, but really I kind of have to do those to pay attention to what's going on.
I just sat for like a good 45 minutes today on that website looking through stuff. And then I went to your sketch notes and I was like, oh my gosh, like hashtag James goals. Like seriously, just really cool. Like you need, I mean, I find that Mandi and I talk about that a lot. It's just this like, idea of what we think things should look like, right? But your style, I feel like if you started sharing your style of sketch notes out after conferences, you could start something really powerful for people to start to embrace just a different way of sketchnoting.
Well, I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Super stuff, seriously. Maybe if it's okay with you, I'll grab a couple off your website and share it out when we share about this chat. Would that be okay?
Yeah, they're all out there for people to.
Awesome, because love it so much.
It also helped me keep my WordPress skills going a little bit. So it's a WordPress site, so I was just kind of goofing around.
You're very humble, seriously. Like, you really need to keep going. Like, a hint, ISTE. Like, you'll blow their minds. It's just really fun to see your style of creating. Really enjoyed that. Thank you. You're welcome.
He was actually one of the first people that I saw really use the iPad, because when we went to the Google Innovator Academy, you brought your iPad with you, and I had mine too, but I hadn't really gotten into sketch notes on my iPad yet. And you taught me a lot those few days.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I do have, like, I subscribed to like a Sketchbox thing, like, for a while, where they send you like a monthly box of like art tools. Like, that was really fun. I did that for like a year and a half, and I just got too many markers and I had to quit.
Oh no, don't say that.
I know.
We have markers here.
Like, I just couldn't use them all. Like, I felt like I needed to. But what's really fun is like starting your sketching with real markers, and then just taking a picture of it and putting it on the iPad and like adding to it. Like that.
Ooh, yeah.
I find that to be really fun. Yeah.
Huh.
Some of the ones on my website are like that, but not all of them.
Okay, because I wondered how you got some of the colors on some of those.
Yeah, some are mixed media, definitely.
Huh. Lots to think about. All right, James, thank you so much for being part of a Doodle and Chat, this wild ride, for being patient with us from the start, and for all of your insights into libraries and got us thinking about and reminding us just the real importance and value that librarians and libraries are for schools, and also just to hear your story and connect with you for the first time. It was just wonderful to meet you, and we really appreciate you being here with us on Doodle and Chat with Friends.
Thank you. Yeah, if you're a teacher, go talk to your librarian. Be friends with them.
Exactly.
They will help you out.
They will. All right. Thank you so much, James.
Yeah, thank you.
And everybody else here who was here with us for Doodle and Chat. If you were here with us and you doodled live with us, share out your Doodle and Chat using hashtag Doodle and Chat on Twitter. Or if you're here watching us later, Mandi and I love to see all the Doodle and Chats. So keep them coming. And thank you so much for being here. And then you can, we're going to be live next week, aren't we, Mandi?
Yes, we're going to be live from ISTE.
Yes. Doing a live Doodle and Chat. We're excited for that. So Mandi will have some friends at ISTE with her. And then I'll be here at home, but I'll be joining them, and we'll be doing a live stream of Doodle and Chat on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time here on this channel. And we can't wait to see everybody there. Have a great night.
Bye, guys. All right.